What's going on? Carlsbad Vista CrossFit. It's Fitness Rick. Wearing my Coach Rick shirt because every good coach has their name on a shirt. Today's workout of the day: 20-minute AMRAP, 20 bent over rows, 15 squats, 10 lunges, and 5 vertical jumps. We're going to cover these movements in details, what we're looking for, and scales and modifications. You could scale up or down based on the equipment you have at home. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get to the first part, the warm-up. What I want you to start with the warm-up is with the jumping jack. Do 50 repetitions, just one set. From there, you're going to do 50 split jacks. These are cross jacks, I apologize. Feet are wide, hands are out to the side. Alternate your hand position, alternate your feet position. Make sure your neighbors don't see you, it looks weird. So, once you've done those two, then you're going to spend 3 rounds. I want you to grab a broom or a PVC pipe. I want you to take this nice and wide. I want you to give me 10 wide grip pass-throughs. From there, you're going to give me 15 good mornings. Feet are between hip and shoulder width apart. Send your hips back, keep your chest up. Only go as far that you can while maintaining a good back position, and then stand up. And 10 glute bridges. Lie on the ground, squeeze your butt, open up your hip, and back down. If you have a band of some sort, you could place it around your knees, and that'll just make it just a little bit better. 3 rounds, 10 wide grip pass-throughs, 15 good mornings, and 10 glute bridges. Once you've done that, then I want you to practice with deadlifts. And in a moment, we're going to cover the points of performance and the elements for performing the deadlift with the barbell if you have weights, or with other objects to maintain strength. So I know we're not in the gym, but you could still maintain strength with some isometric holds and some unique variations using household stuff. Okay guys, after our warm-up, I want you to spend next 10 to 20 minutes practicing the deadlift. If you have weights at home, then you can work on some strength with the deadlift. If you do not, we're going to show you a couple variations that you can practice to help maintain some strength. Now, Lindsay's going to help demonstrate. So if you have a barbell, and just so you remember the elements of the deadlift, this is what I want you to focus on. So she's going to face me, and I'm going to stand right over here. Now, she's going to grab the barbell, actually face the camera first. And her feet are underneath her hips. Her hands are just outside of her hips. So let's go ahead and face back that way. Now, the deadlift starts in the bottom position, so she's going to get to that bottom position. And what we're looking for here are her weights in her heels. Her hips are higher than her knees, but lower than her shoulders. She's going to sink her hips down just a little bit. She's going to make sure her arms are long and straight, and she has what we call an active shoulder. So right here, she creates tension. So she pulls it back in. And then all she does from here is she stands up. But when she stands, the bar stays close to the body. Go ahead and stand. And she brings it right back down. Now, what I want you to focus on this lift, we're going to make it simple for you, is keep your weight in your heels. Don't let the weight pull you forward. Next, I want you to think about that bar should drag up your legs, and when it does, it should not move around your knees. So you have to pull your knees out of the way. So watch how the bar moves in a straight line. And then she stands all the way up. And then back down. And shove the hips just a little bit right there. So this is her starting position, but the most important thing, and this goes for any time you're going to pick up a heavy object off the ground, is she maintains not just the active shoulder, but she maintains this right here. So this curve in her back, it stays solid, and she does that by arching her chest up and pulling the belly muscles tight. Okay, so she keeps that nice and tight, and she stands up, and she maintains that the entire time. So if you have weights, go ahead and take this mute. If you have weights, go ahead and remember those points of performance. Weight in your heels, move the bar in a straight line, and keep your back as flat as possible. If you do not, have weights. Then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on an isometric contraction for the deadlift. And what Lindsay's going to do is she's going to use this rope to perform that isometric contraction. You can use lashing strap, you can use maybe a long enough towel, but we're going to use this rope so you can see it. So she's going to take her feet, place them underneath her hips, and she's going to get into the same position that she was with her feet and her body in the deadlift. Now, this is a standing position, but she's going to get to the bottom position. And let's face this way so they can see it. What she's going to do is she's going to get to the bottom position of the deadlift. She's going to pull the slack out and grab the rope here. Once she's here, she's going to give a max, as much as she feels comfortable, contraction, like she's picking up a weight that can't be moved. So drop your hips a little bit. She's going to focus on tension in the back side of the body, mainly here and here. And she's going to pull her shoulders back right here. And she's going to hold that for 10 to 30 seconds and then relax. Now, I want you to do about 3 to 5 rounds of that for 10 to 30 second contractions. You can adjust the positioning a little bit to get strong in other specific positions. So let's do another position at the top of the knees. So if you notice, the same points of performance of the deadlift apply, but now this isometric contraction, there's no moving parts, but she's tensing up all her muscles. She's getting really strong in holding this position. So hopefully you can maintain a lot of your strength. Go ahead and relax and stand up. That was good. Also, in addition to this, I want you to practice some single arm deadlifts, also called a suitcase deadlift or suitcase carries. Now, you can use any object in your house that you could pick up safely. I'm going to give you some examples here. The first example is a water jug. So Linz, would you go ahead and approach just like you would? Your chest is up, her back is flat, and she's going to reach down and stand with that object and bring it right back down. See this? But it's called a suitcase deadlift because it's how you would pick up a piece of luggage. So if you have a piece of luggage lying around the house, go ahead and fill it up with as much stuff as you can or want. Go ahead and practice picking it up. Back down. Equal reps on both sides, 3 to 5 to 10 reps. Just make sure that you don't get too fatigued on this where it affects your workout. Excellent. Let's go and relax there. You could also use a backpack. You can use a duffel, or my favorite, Lindsay's favorite, your hoarding storage stash of wine. Excellent. That's some fitness right there. Okay, 10 to 20 minutes practicing this movement. If you have weights, remember the points of performance. Weight in your heels, back is flat, shoulder is pulled in, and the bar moves in a straight line. If you're practicing the static hold or the suitcase holds, the points of performance remain exactly the same. Now let's get into the workout. Okay, now for today's workout. Remember, it's a 20-minute AMRAP. 20 bent over rows, 15 squats, 10 lunges, and 5 vertical jumps. I'm anticipating about 8 to 12 rounds in this workout. I'm going to show you guys some scales up and down that you guys can use with equipment you have back in home. And Lindsay's going to demonstrate the movement. So let's go and get Lindsay in frame. We're going to start off with the bent over row. Now the bent over row, we're going to use one of the objects that we use for our deadlift practice. Grab a duffel bag, or grab a backpack, fill it up with books, right? Many leather-bound books are in this bag right now. This bag's pretty heavy, and we're going to use this as our piece of equipment. I think most people have a bag of some sort and probably a lot of books. So the bent over row, she's going to face me. She's going to grab anywhere she feels comfortable, and all we're focused on is we're gonna focus on bending over so that she's in a good flat position with her back. That means she maintains this curve. And then she's gonna pull her elbows behind her body and then all the way back down. And that's the movement. So just notice she's not all the way down. Let's go ahead and go all the way down with that elbow, all the way down right there, and then all the way back up. And then let's go just a few reps. Yeah, you don't have to go that slow, but she's using it for demonstration purposes. Excellent. She's tired. We've got too many heavy weights. It's okay. Okay, now, the next movement is the squat. Preferably, you're using the same object that you're doing your bent over rows with, ideally. So she's gonna pick it up and she's gonna bear hug it, like a variation of a front squat. Let's go ahead and face this way. And what we're looking for here is the crease of the hip goes below the knee. Now, when she performs this movement, she's gonna sit back and down. Go ahead and sit back and down. Crease of the hip below the knee, stand all the way up. And notice she maintains that good back position the entire time. Give me 2 more reps. Keep that chest up. And better, good. From here, she's gonna go into the lunge. So this is 10 lunges. Each step is 1 repetition. So she's gonna step forward. Her trailing knee touches the ground lightly, and then she stands all the way up until her feet come together, and then she alternates feet. Good, go ahead and set it down. Once again, the squats and the lunges, ideally with weight, but they do not have to be. The vertical jump. Assuming you don't have a dog in the way, Lindsay's going to demonstrate what jumping up in the air looks like. That's it. The main focus here is that her body gets in a straight line, so no half jumps. Let's show us a jump where your body doesn't get straight up. Yeah, make sure you open all the way up for these vertical jumps. Jump as high as you can. Pick a target. Look for something high. That's it for that. Now, some variations and scales. If you can't do the bent over row, then I want you to just do a good morning with no weight or any object that you can hold. So if you can't use your arms or shoulders, just go ahead and use just like that. If you want to scale up, obviously whatever weights you have. If you have a barbell, you can do the bent over row with the barbell. Or you can perform 10 pull-ups as an alternative for this movement if you have access to a pull-up bar. That same thing, if you have a barbell, you can do front squats and a front rack lunge. It's gonna make it just a little spicier. That's the workout. When you are done with the workout, I want you to spend 2 minutes each leg on working on flexibility for your hamstring. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that same rope that you had, or whatever you used for that static deadlift hold. Linz, would you demonstrate this one? She's gonna lie on the ground, back on the ground, please. She's gonna loop the rope around the middle of her foot. She's gonna extend her leg out completely. The opposite leg is flat into the ground as much as she can. Legs extended. And what she's gonna do is she's gonna spend about 5 to 7 count, relaxing, breathing out and pulling the leg in, focusing on a stretch here while keeping this down. And then for 5 seconds, she's gonna tense up at my hand, tense up, tense up, tense up, and then relax into stretch again. But notice she keeps bending her knee. Try to keep your knee straight. If you bend your knee, it's okay. It's a slight scale. But notice I'm not doing the work. She's doing all the work herself. 2 minutes each leg. Set up a timer and just play with this stretch. Try to keep this leg down. Okay, that's your mobility practice. Once you're done with that, go ahead and take a video. Put your score on beyond the whiteboard. Tag us in social media posts. We want to share what you're doing. That's it.